everybody. It's Daryl T. Dixon back with the Daily Daryl. We're going to start doing a thing called Daily Daryl Headline News, and we'll try to get it to you at different parts of the day. Today, we got a full news day, so let's get started. Today is a National Day of Prayer, so everybody out there, I'm going to urge you to go and say a good prayer and thank God for everything that we've been given. We're so lucky here in the United States of America. We're so lucky with everything we have. We're living the greatest time in the history of man. The things we can do live video from our office. We can get on a computer and talk to people halfway around the world in real time. We can FaceTime with them. We can Skype with them. There's so many things we can do, and it's only going to get better. We can turn and ask information. There's so many things, or Siri. So I think we have so much to be grateful for, and I think everybody should join me in a nice, good National Day of Prayer. So that's the first thing I want to talk about today. We have breaking news out of Nashville. It looks like there's been a shooting at the Opry Mills Mall. Right now, what we know is one person is dead. It looks like maybe a 22-year-old kid who was transported a couple of miles away to the Skyline Medical Center has died from gunshot wounds, and maybe as many as up to 4 have been shot during this tragic event. You know, it's just a couple of weeks ago we had the Waffle House shooting, and James Shaw, you know, the American hero, taking that guy down before he did even further damage. So another shooting today. I'm sure there's a lot more that's going to come out in a few minutes. Ty Cobb, the chief White House counsel for President Trump, is going to resign effective end of the month. He is moving on, retiring, and we wish him the best of luck. Twitter sent out a notice today to some 336 million users that they might need to change their password. I don't know if you changed yours. I changed mine. It was kind of unexpected, and really Twitter hadn't had that much problems getting hacked into in the past, but they sent out this notice quickly. And if you're, you know, like me, you're able to see that and go ahead and change the password. It's not that big a deal to ensure some more safety there. So if you haven't yet, go on Twitter and change the password, and then hopefully tonight you'll see this Daily Daryl headline stories. Possibility, although we don't have confirmation yet, that there's 3 Americans set to be released from North Korea. They've been held for certain alleged crimes from the North Korean government. They've been held in concentration camps, boot camp, work camp type things, and they're going to be released. You know, it was not too long ago that the North Koreans basically, in my opinion, killed a young student from the United States. And so returning these 3 people is a start, but there's still retribution that needs to be made for the death of that young man. And I know his parents have filed a lawsuit against North Korea. So if the government is going to do that and they want to work with our country to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula, they need to let these 3 people go today or tomorrow, and then they need to make retribution on the young man that was killed. Yesterday, very tragic event in Savannah, Georgia, a C-130 military plane. And for those of you that don't know, a C-130 is a military aircraft that typically carries supplies and airborne troopers. So I know I jumped out of one about 5 or 6 times, and it's not the most comfortable ride in the world. I was able to sleep on it, but this tragedy yesterday was from an older plane from Puerto Rico. So there were 9 military personnel from Puerto Rico who died in the crash, and basically the plane just went straight down. There's video evidence of this, and it's very sad. And you could tell that once it exploded, that no one was going to survive that crash. Incidentally, that aircraft was on its last trip when it was to leave Savannah and head to Arizona. So on this National Day of Prayer, lots of prayers going out to Puerto Rico. They've been through so much, all the families of these young men and or women. And it's just so tragic that plane was only going to make one more trip before being retired. It was 60 years old. the last and not least is all the stuff going on with President Trump and Stormy Daniels, uh, Michael Avenatti, who is Stormy's attorney, and now the new attorney for President Trump, Rudolph Giuliani from New York, former mayor of New York. And it looks like now the president, through his lawyer, is admitting to paying Mr. Michael Cohen, his other attorney at the time, back $130,000 to silence Stormy Daniels about the alleged affair. So there's so many lawsuits going different ways, and then there's the investigation with Robert Mueller. It just seems like there's new details in this drama every single day. Let's get these parties together and mediate and see if we can put an end to this story. Let's get this investigation wrapped up one way or the other, and let's get about the business of this country. But that's just a personal opinion. My legal opinion, this is going to drag out. Michael Avenatti has filed defamation suits against both Michael Cohen, the former attorney of Donald Trump, and Mr. Trump himself. So those civil suits are going to proceed in federal court, I do believe. And then there's also, like I said, the investigation with Robert Mueller. We'll have way more on all of that later, especially some legal principles that might be interesting in the news. So, and if you have any questions, let us know. This has been the first installment of this Daily Daryl headline news stories, and we'll do it different times throughout the week. But we'll try to get back here on YouTube Live. We love it here, and I hope everybody goes out and has a fantastic rest of the day and evening. Daily Daryl signing out.